crafty little things. I'm just going to show you today how to make this Christmas cracker. It's a large Christmas cracker and it contains a double layered gift box, which in my case contains handmade wax melts, but it would be useful for 2 layers of chocolates or 2 layers of anything, whatever you want to include in there. And that's a nice little box and it fits inside this Christmas cracker perfectly. This is my sort of prototype, so the finished version will be finished off with ribbon and a sentiment. So it's easy to make. I have made a couple of mistakes on my scoring on the box itself, but I'll give you the right measurements. So for the box you need a piece that's 8 3/4 by 4 inches. And you need to be scoring that at 1 1¼ all the way around, so 1 1/4 on each side. I just made a mistake and scored mine at 3/4, but it's 1 1/4 on each side. For the lid you need a piece that's 8 inches by 3 inches and score at 3/4 of an inch all the way around. That's where I made my mistake on my base. Then you need 2 strips that measure 7 by 1½, and they're the inserts to sort of divide your box up. Score at 3, 3½, and 4 on each of those. But you might have to snip off a little bit from each end, but we'll check that when we get to the actual box itself. You need a plate that measures sort of 6 3/16 by 1 3/8, so it's just small enough for one of these to sit onto and not be seen. That's just to strengthen your top strip. And then I've just got a piece of DSP here which measures 6 1/4 by 1½, and that's just to decorate the top of the box. And then for your cracker you need a piece that measures 12 by 7½. Now I use DSP because it's just easier to make the cracker from, and it's once it's got the box inside it's more than sturdy enough. And for this you need to score on the short side at 1 3/4, 3½, 5 1/4, 7, and on the long side you need to score at 1 3/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2, and then turn it around and do the same again. 1 3/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2. And then I've just got sentiment here, and I'm using red for a bit of contrast. So let's get started. I made a couple of mistakes. That was my prototype I showed you. I never made any mistakes with that. And then when I was trying to make the actual box itself, I made a few mistakes mainly because I had my dog sniffing around my feet, ripping up paper, licking my feet, crying, scratching at my leg, and now he's asleep. So yeah, he decided to give up the ghost on that one, obviously. I wouldn't mind, but I have spent a lot of time this morning playing with him, taking him out, and I am at home with him all day. You know, most days there's someone home with him. He's never left on his own, actually. Yeah, so just cut up the 2 sides there. Yeah, so it's not like he don't get any attention because he gets tons of it. But he's just decided to be a little rat bag today. And I was just a little bit upset because the minute I wanted to do something, as it is like having children, the minute you want to do something for yourself, they suddenly turn into demanding little horrors. Sorry for those of you who haven't got any children yet, or think children are never little horrors. But you know, I always used to find when, and then putting glue on, make it a box. I always used to find when my children were so predictable in terms of sleeping patterns and naps and things like that, And then the day that I planned to do something in the nap, during the nap, because I stayed at home with both of them until they started nursery and worked from home. So the day that I planned to do something during the nap wouldn't happen. Guaranteed. It was like they knew that I had something planned. And I used to find that really frustrating, because I suppose a big part of being a mum is not being selfish, and is sacrificing what you want and putting yourself at the end of the queue, kind of thing. And those little times where you were going to steal a little moment for yourself, not even something dramatic, might have just been to put a shelf up, or you know, to plant some plants outside or something. Little things that were going to be a little bit different for you, or take away Groundhog Day for a few minutes. And they felt like they were robbed from me, and I used to get a bit upset sometimes. I think that's part of being a parent though, isn't it? Is just learning that you just can never have, really, that time again. You should have just notched in, really, just to stop that happening, but that'll do. I've made a bit of a pig's ear with this. I think that thing with the dog, because I feel like I've upset him now by ignoring him. And now he's gone to sleep with his back turned to me, and I just feel bad. So I think I'm just a bit not myself at the minute, feeling a bit guilty, even though he has had loads of attention. So that'll just slot in there. So I'm just going to pop some glue on. So forgive me, my measurements are right that I've given you, and you know, I'm doing this properly, but I'm just feeling it a bit less than I was a minute ago. So yeah, so glue that together, squeeze that together. So all you were doing there was just scoring the middle and the two ends, so that you ended up with a mountain and two valleys. And then just use your bone folder and push that in there. And that'll just stay nice and tidy for you, so that if I get these, I think I brought some more in, but I can't find them now. I don't know where I've put them. Yeah, so these will just all fit in nicely, just to show you that it does work. These are so cute, aren't they? People love them. This is a gorgeous one. I've just made it up today. It's called Gingerbread Man, and it's like gingerbread, but it's also blended with like men's fragrance, the sort of typical oils you'd use for a man's fragrance, so musky sort of fragrances, and it does smell like a man, but gingerbread as well. This one is Earl Grey tea. It smells delicious. Oh, this one's banana-y. They're lovely. Right, so anyway, to make the top layer now, get your next little strip and bend it over in your centre centre score line, and then fold it up at your other two. Just to make that mountain and valley thing. And I'm still full of cold. People will think that I just film videos constantly because I'm full of cold in all of them, but I am still full of cold. So just fold that together and squish it together. I think it's because I've been working so hard, and I think I'm just not giving myself a chance to recover, because it's just such a busy period, you know, in all respects, and everything that I do, my different hats that I wear, it's busy in all of them. And then I'm still a mum as well, and yeah, so that's that. If you want to tidy it up a little bit, just trim it and tidy it up a little bit, but it fits nicely. And then the next layer would go on. The green ones are Winter Wonderland. They smell delicious. oh gosh, they're so sort of fresh smelling, but they just smell like Christmas to me. And these pinky ones, oh goodness, they're jingleberry they're called. That's what I've called them anyway. I give my things lots of different weird names. And they're really rich berry tones and plummy. So cut up, now we're doing the lid, cut up your 4 outside score lines. I should have burnished it first, but I didn't. Burnish your score lines. You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that bit in where I'm having my little whinge about the dog and the kids. Well, I'm not whinging about the kids because my kids are grown up now and I've done all that. I've succeeded and survived. But sometimes you've got to keep it real, haven't you? No point sitting here smiling and laughing all the time, pretending everything's rosy in the garden when you're feeling a little bit taken for granted by a puppy. Oh gosh, what a life. So I'm just going to pop that on as a little bit of decoration. Maybe I could have pushed the boat out a bit further. Maybe it's reflective of my mood. Oh dear. And put a little bit of glue on each of these tabs. Again, I should maybe have notched them in a little bit, but that's up to you if you want to do that. And then just push it down, and I just feel so guilty. You know, like when you've told your child off and there's no one else for it to go to get comfort, and you know, when you just had to say no or something, or they've done something really naughty, and you just feel so guilty, and they look at you and you just, or when they're older they go to their room and you just want to go and hug them and tell them it doesn't matter. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm looking at him. I just said to him, that's naughty, that's all I said to him. I didn't even shout. But I've never told him off, and I just feel really bad. And he's lying there with his back to me. He never lies with his back to me. And he's not even got on his blanket. He's just laying on the wooden floor. Oh, it's killing me. So there we are. There's the box. With its nice lid. I don't know why, but the lid seems to be rather large. And everything seemed to fit in very easily. I don't know if I've made things a bit big. Might want to just check the measurements of that lid. It does seem a little bit big. Just see. I think I've made it. I think what I've done is I've added on a little bit extra, or I know what I might have done. I've added on a little bit extra for size, and it's just gone too far. I'm about 1/4 of an inch too big on that lid, so just check the measurement on that. It was 8x3, wasn't it? I wonder if I've made it a little bit too big. I think I've cut it too big and made it 8 1/4. So yeah, it is 8x3 will fit. I've made that a little bit too big. That's my mistake. I cut my lid too big. Sorry. Now I've got blooming hiccups. Right, so now we're going to do our box, our cracker. So all these lines on the long side, easy peasy. Just fold and burnish. When I've done this, I'm going to have to just go. I had other things to do after this, but I think I'm just going to have to go and pick him up and just take him and sit in the living room with him and snuggle up with him for half an hour, because I feel so guilty that he's laid there all sad. Well, he's not sad, he's asleep, but he's gone to sleep sad, I think. Maybe he was just tired, I don't know. Maybe that was why he was getting a bit fractious, like children do sometimes. Right, and now for these score lines. You've got your 3 score lines together. So your one in the middle, you want it to be down like a valley. So just fold and burnish that one like so. And then your other 2 want to be up like the mountains. So fold and burnish those like so. And then you've got that shape happening, okay? So your middle one wants to be down like a valley. Oh goodness, now I feel like I'm going to pass out. It's not a good day. And then this one up like a mountain. It's not a good day. I think, do you know what I think? I think I'm unwell and I need to just relax and get better, rather than keep on working. Okay, so now we need the envelope punch board, and oops, if you haven't got an envelope punch board, get one, because they're really good. And then what we want to do is we just want to line up this middle score line with the cutting area. So you want the middle score line to be right in the middle of the cutting area. If you look in there, you can see there's like a groove, you know, there's a space, and it wants to be right in the middle of there. So on this one, just to help you a little bit, it's at sort of just over 2 1/4. In fact, it's 2 1/4 where my left side is. So I'm just going to score there, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side at the 2 1/4 mark. And then I'm going to fold over, and I'm going to feed my paper in, and I'm going to do it again. And then on this side, and then at each fold, each way you've scored, just move it across if you want. I don't know why on earth I was doing it like that. Yeah, on each one where I've scored my lines across, that's where I want to fold it and then push it in and then punch that out. And then I do want to do it at my last bit where I've got my fold line, my little piece that's going to be folded over and glued. Okay, so now this is the simple part. All you need to do for this is to just pop some glue on this flap at this end. Just take it right across, and then you just fold that down and fold that over, and it will just automatically line up exactly where it needs to be if you've cut and scored and folded it right. Okay, and this, like I said in my other video about Christmas cracker boxes, is one of the beauties of the Christmas cracker box is that it folds flat. So if I was sending lots out to one of my agents, then they would be able to just do this bit, and I could send a box of boxes and a box of flat crackers, and they'll be able to just do that bit. So there we go, my cracker box fits nicely into there. and it does still fit nicely into there even though I've totally messed it up. And then I'm just going to get some ribbon. It might have been better for me to use red ribbon, because let me just see if I can grab some. Right, so that's it. Lovely cracker box, double box. It's nice heavy box, that nice gift for somebody if you do handmade chocolates or handmade anything. Really nice gift. And like I said, that lid, I think I just made it a little bit too big. This box, nothing wrong with this, I'll be using this. And that little just bit of extra just gives you that little bit of strength in your top layer. Okay, so thanks for joining me, and hopefully next time I'll have a project for you where I'm not upset by my dog, I'm not reminiscing about what it's like to have annoying children, and I'm not full of cold, and I'm not tired, and things are a little bit more upbeat, but I am happy. I'm always happy, and I'm always happy when I'm crafting. And I think what I just said earlier, that I think I'm going to stop crafting, is a mistake. So I'm going to carry on crafting and let the dog sleep, and he'll have forgotten. Let sleeping dogs lie, as they say. So there we go. Merry Christmas, jingle bells, ho ho ho, and all that. Bye bye.